My name is Lee, and I'm CEO of Vita Scan. We make fingerstick tests for nutritionists. The nutrition, I think, is something that we all recognize now, especially in light of COVID. It's something that is foundational to health and wellness and disease prevention. But it's very hard to get a handle on. And malnutrition is something that affects well over half of the world. Nutritionists are leading the charge to fix this problem. In the US, there are 60,000 nutritionists who see 50 million clients a year. And what we find is that they are frustrated. They're frustrated by just how hard it is to get labs. Dietitians and nutritionists, they just want to know their clients' basic nutrition information, but they can't order labs on their own. They have to go through a physician. The physician doesn't always do it, but even when they do, insurance gets involved. And so this process just becomes full of friction. But for the dietitian, the bottom line for them is it's just hard for them to do their jobs. It leads to worse care for their clients. And they really feel that it's unfair and they're being held back by the fact that they don't have this basic ability, despite them being the nutrition experts, right? They're the ones who spent years of education learning about nutrition, and yet they don't have this basic ability to just get basic information on their clients. Our tests solve this problem. These are simple tests that can be done in the office or via telehealth, and they give nutritionists the power to get answers on their own authority for the very first time. These are also low cost enough that they can be paid right out of pocket, which means that you can create a significant new revenue stream as a nutritionist for your business. And so like any good startup, we focused really hard on product market fits, and we did extensive interviews to get to this point. When we started talking with dietitians, we were honestly surprised by the amount of excitement that we heard. There was so much demand here that we started a wait list. And in about 2 months, that list now has 100 dietitians, over 100 dietitians, and over $2 million added to our product launch pipeline. And just to drive that point home, this is a response that we got about a month ago from Angela in response to a cold email from us. Angela is a dietitian, and she owns a business that has 6 physical locations and 25 dietitians working for her, each of them seeing 50 clients a week. That's about a $500,000 opportunity for us. The bottom line here is that she wants to give us all of her business because doing labs is such a pain for her, right? She was actually a little mad on the phone because she found out that we're just a startup and we can't sell to her yet, which also makes us mad that we can't sell to her yet. So what exactly are we selling here? You can think of these as rapid COVID tests, but they analyze fingerstick blood for things like vitamins and iron. The magic here is that we can upgrade established paper-based technology to make these tests A, quantitative, and B, multi-analyte or multiplexed. So you simply place a drop of blood onto this test, put this test in a reader, and in 10 minutes, you can know your nutrition status. So when you look at the competitors that are out there, there are companies that can do rapid testing, and there are companies that can analyze blood, but they don't do both. And that's where we come in. We're in the sweet spots where we can quantify nutrition markers directly from blood, and these tests are fast and low cost enough that they can be used in the office or at home, thus expanding greatly the use applications. So how do we make money here? This is also we get from our interviews with the dietitians, right? They tell us that they could buy our test for, say, $50, and they package it in with their service. Their client then pays for that service for $75 out of pocket. And now they can include the testing, remove all the friction points that I mentioned before, and provide truly personalized nutrition care. So with this model, we get paid, the dietitian gets paid, and the client gets better personalized care, right? Everybody wins. So there is a report from Research Diet that looked at the active nutrition measurement market, and they estimated that to be $14 billion. We also did a bottom-up analysis to get to a $2.8 billion market that's focused on serving the nutritionists. Within that market, the US covers about half of that. Japan and Europe cover the other half. Our beachhead within that is then focused on US-based licensed dietitians who specialize in sports nutrition, pediatrics, and maternal health. And so that's almost a $400 million market that we're going to target first. We have a 3-phase plan to capture this market, with our pro forma reaching $60 million by 2027. Phase 1 is the launch of a pilot test for iron deficiency, where we're going to focus on sports nutrition. Phase 2 is the launch of an essential nutrition panel. So that includes iron, vitamin D, and vitamin B12 based on customer feedback. And here we're going to focus on market growth. And finally, in phase 3, we're going to enter telehealth with the release of at-home versions of these tests. So we've made a lot of progress on phase 1 already. We've gotten $2.5 million from the Department of Defense to develop the R&D. Our IP now includes 3 granted and 2 pending patents, as well as a lot of know-how. The iron test that I mentioned actually is already being purchased for research use in a lot of different applications in pediatrics, blood donor management, academic research, and global health applications. And so if anybody's interested in that, I'm more than happy to go into that. These are all verticals on top of our nutrition opportunity. Nutritionist opportunity. And now we're focused on completing our clinical trial. We've met with the FDA to confirm our trial design, and so we're raising for that. And so like I mentioned, we're raising $2 million to get FDA clearance. That's going to be our major milestone for this round. But during this time, we're also going to focus on securing pre-sales, partnerships, increasing our engagement with the dietitians, and further developing our test pipeline. We're then going to look to raise an $8 million Series A to execute on phase 2. So we have a great team to execute on this plan. Just a little bit about us. I've led the company to where we are today. Alex leads our product development and quality systems. Rob is our business development expert. He previously served as CEO of a company through multiple funding rounds and product launches. And Trevor is our marketing expert. His first startup was actually successfully acquired. And so as for the deal terms, we prefer a convertible note round, and we're suggesting a $7 million cap at 6% interest and 20% discount. So taking those assumptions, and some of the comparable exits that we've seen recently, if we hit our pro forma in 5 years, we're looking at a $400 to $600 million valuation. And so what that means is a $2 million investment now will get you a 15 to 25x ROI within 5 years. So the whole team is very excited by this opportunity. We found real pain here, and we found real product market fit, which I know it can be rare sometimes. So if I've gotten you interested as well, excited as well, I'd be happy to connect and talk more. Thank you so much.